My name is Judd Bagley. I am Chief Evangelizing Officer at T0. T0 is a financial technology subsidiary of Overstock.com. And as a good evangelist, my job is to proclaim the good news of this new technology and sell it to the world, in addition to helping people get excited about the idea of moving securities transaction settlement to the blockchain. One of the things that blockchain does very well is it acts as a proxy for trust, which might otherwise be absent between two parties, and it does so in a way that is very efficient. Now, over the years, over the decades, the world has kind of accumulated organizations that step in to make up for the fact that the two people engaging in a transaction might not trust each other. So for example, Visa. If you and I are engaging in a transaction, I may not trust you and you may not trust me, but we both trust Visa, for example. Visa does its job well, but it costs money and time to do its job. There's got to be kind of a better way, and with the blockchain, what we've discovered is I don't have to trust you and you don't have to trust me, and we don't have to trust Visa as long as we both trust mathematics. Mathematics basically ensures that trades can be legitimized, that the record of the trade can be made immutable, that it can be eminently auditable. All these jobs that Visa and other entities would normally play in the middle of us can be removed, disrupted, as we use distributed ledger technology in their place. In a setting where two ends of an Internet of Things transaction may not know or necessarily trust each other, blockchain is an excellent and very efficient way to act, again, as a proxy for that trust, to make sure that every transaction can be considered validated, it's made immutable, and it leaves a very clear audit record so everybody can know and agree upon what's taken place. So I'm a huge fan of blockchain technology, but I'm also the first to point out that it's not always the right technology. In the end, blockchain is a database. What it does really well is act as a database to settle transactions, to verify the validity of transactions that take place between two entities with misaligned incentives. So in cases where there are two ends of a transaction and the players may not necessarily trust one another, blockchain is an outstanding way to get in the middle of that transaction and make up for that lack of trust. A lot of Internet of Things transactions, that lack of trust is not an issue, in which case I think there might be easier solutions. For example, a multi-sig Oracle database. But in cases where two sides of a transaction don't necessarily trust each other, I think it's outstanding. Here's a very good example. There's a company called Factum, which is currently working on a way to make sure that sensors that read pollution in China are delivering accurate information to the centralized authority in Beijing. This is an outstanding application of, this is an outstanding use of blockchain technology where Internet of Things are concerned in this case, because Beijing doesn't necessarily trust that the information coming to them from the outlying cities is not going to be tampered with, because the cities have an incentive to make their air look cleaner than it actually is. In this case, blockchain is a perfect use of that technology. There are other cases where, say, two entities within the same organization are looking at maybe can we use blockchain to simplify communication, but from one entity within the organization to another. As long as those two groups within the organization trust each other, then this is probably not the best use of blockchain technology. On the other hand, where incentives are misaligned, as we find very often, it is an outstanding use of the technology. So is it right for every Internet of Things scenario? No, but it's the perfect application for some of them.